Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Hey, Rose Veers, here with John Ralph. Some of you may know him from a variety of experiences, a bagpiper extraordinaire, and also a personal trainer here in Launceston. There's been lots of impacts as a result of the coronavirus hitting the world, Australia and Tasmania. One of those things has been the cancellation of events. John's been heavily involved with the Launceston Walking Festival, and unfortunately that's been cancelled. One of the events has been cancelled. But John, I saw a post on Facebook the other day. You've been out and about nonetheless. What have you been up to, and perhaps what sort of ideas could you share with people in the community right now as we're looking at various styles of isolation?
Oh, g'day, Janie. And yeah, look, you're right there. The good news, I suppose, if there is a silver lining about the Launceston Walking Festival, is it has been deferred, and that we have got dates of October 3rd and 4th where we'll be putting that on.
Perfect.
Excuse that. Yeah. And so, in fact, you'll still see some ads on the telly with that updated dates on it. So we're sort of really confident that we're really sort of encouraged by the strong response to people wanting to do the walking festival. And so then obviously, you know, things being as they are, it can't go ahead right now. But then that also just gives us a chance to plan a bit more and just make it all the better.
Fantastic.
So in the meantime...
Yeah. What's happening in the meantime?
So in the meantime, obviously, you know, things change daily as to what people can do. And obviously restricting yourself and isolating yourself in accordance with what the government requires is the most important thing, because, you know, we've got to get through this thing. We've got to get past it all so we can all have our lives back. But in the meantime, of course, particularly if we head towards an area, and look, I'm no expert on this, I only know what everyone knows, but if we're pushing towards the point where we might be more and more restricted in our activity, being able to get out and about is difficult. At the moment, getting out for a walk, I think, is still okay, based on what they're telling us. I mean, this is a time of us speaking. And so we're keen to get out there. It means you can still get out, you can still be sociable, but you can also have that isolation and make sure you've got the distances required by the government to make sure the people are doing all that they can in that regard. But of course, when you start to slow down, when you've been outside and active, mental health becomes a bit of an aspect. And so being able to be physically active is really, really important. Now, obviously, no one wants to go and do something which is going to, you know, lose sight of the main game. We've got to beat this thing. We've got to do everything we possibly can, but we can get out and just keep a listen to what the government tells us and what it is that we can do. But one of the great things recently I've seen, Janie, is that people have been putting some great workouts on YouTube for what you can do if you're actually isolated, including, if you just go and Google the Dunny Roll workout, there is some really, really creative stuff where people have got their pile of Dunny Rolls and the things that they're doing. And they're actually really, really hard workouts. So the thing is that if you find yourself having to be inside for a period of time for any reason, well, for whatever reason, get hold of the Dunny Roll workout and check out the variety of those. I mean, I just hurt looking at them. So there's some really good stuff out there. But in the meantime, I mean, if it's permissible, if it's allowable, if you can, just try and keep moving, even if it just means moving around your yard. You know, one of the things that I started doing today, just having a bit of a look around, was scenario planning. And this is forward planning is really good too. Thinking about what physical exercise could I do if I was stuck inside my house, or only had that in the backyard. And really, when you sit there and look at your backyard space, and again, head to YouTube, find some stuff on there that would fit in the place you've got. And, you know, it's quite amazing, you know, a bucket of water, a heavy pot plant. It's amazing what you can do that can become some sort of workout for you. Or if you've got a bigger yard, just start doing laps. I'll also have a look at what's in the garden. If your garden's been a bit neglected this summer, well, guess what? You get to do some exercise, but also get to do something practical, and your place looks a bit better. So I think that there's still a whole range of options. It is easy for us just to go, oh, it's too hard, pull the blanket up, and then just want to just wait for it all to be over. I think we all know that it's not going to be in 5 minutes. So the thing is, we need to say, right, well, what can I do to keep myself well mentally and emotionally, as well as all of the other things and everything else? So my big push is, we'll just do what we can within the confines of what we're allowed to do, but also do some forward planning that if it comes down that we've all got to be locked down, well, what can you do in that space? I've seen some really uplifting scenes out of Italy where people are having dance parties on their balcony. They're getting out there and making sure that they're getting up and going, and that their happy hormones are all nice and lively, and they're just all in it for the long term, and they're going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the really important things. I was talking to someone, like while we're all in isolation, we've got kids hanging around. You never know what's going to quite happen in these interviews. But I saw a friend this morning. I was driving across the King's Bridge, and I saw a friend this morning who they normally go to Pilates classes in the morning on a Thursday. But instead of being able to do that, they were actually up over the zigzag track. And while we're able, as you said, while it's safe to do so, we're really well placed in Launceston and Northern Tasmania to get out and enjoy. We've got incredible, as you know, walking tracks and incredible places to go and enjoy. I love the Dunny Roll workout. I'm going to go and check that out. Thanks for joining me tonight. Good luck. Hopefully this has passed enough for the new dates of the Launceston Walking Festival for that to proceed. And as everyone in the community is working through and managing all of the cancellations or deferrals at this point, you know, what you mentioned about mental health is really important. I have been saying for the last couple of days, outside in the sunshine and fresh air, maybe outside in the fresh rain and the fresh air at the moment. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for providing some of those tips and advice. Take care, look after yourself and stay positive.
Sounds great. Well done. Thanks, Jenny.
No worries.